guys, it's me, Allie, and today I'm going to be speaking about GOBOs. I recently did a shoot with Lexi, and one of the images that I really enjoyed was this one. So I'm going to show you how I did it, and next episode I'm going to show you the next step, which is adding a gel in for another effect. Today we're going to do a one light setup with a very simple, inexpensive gobo, which can be free because you can use anything. So first, what's a gobo? Gobo just means a go-between, and it basically allows you to create shadows and add more interest to your photography, and honestly, it can create some really amazing drama. The gobo that I used is this piece of lace. Now, if you look, this is the way the lace shows up, and this is the piece I used. What I did was added a little Mod Podge to the lace to make it a little bit stiffer and easier to work with. I've got a clip. So the first thing you need is a way to hold this up, because most of us don't have an assistant. To tell you the truth, assistants move, and this is very precise, so you're better off using a light stand with a crossbar. So I have this really crappy crossbar, but it connects in the middle, makes like a T, and I really like it just for this. So I have it clipped, crossbar. So what are you gonna need? You're gonna need something to make the texture. You're gonna need one light. You want a small light source. I originally tried to do this with a speed light because you get a great look, but without a modeling light, I found it very, very complicated because I had no idea what was happening. So instead, I chose to use one Elenchrom, and I put a photodiox Barndoors, and I used that to control the light. Now my light is up pretty high, and it's like one of the keys, because Emma can't do it, but I like to look with the modeling light and see what the shadows are doing. And I like to ask my model, can you see the light through the piece of lace or whatever your gobo is? If they can see the light through and you're aiming for their face with the shadow, then you're likely pretty good. Okay, so that's the first thing, one light up high. Now, with the Barndoors, it makes my light source smaller, which is what I needed. I also still have to get my light source fairly far away. If my light source comes in really close, we're going to get soft light, and your shadows are not going to be crisp. And I'm showing you examples of what happens when you pull the light closer versus what happens when a light is further away. Even with it being small, if it's very close, it's still becoming a bigger source, and you lose the crispness of your shadows. I shot at f16 ISO 100 and 1/160th of a second. So that was to give me, again, nice crisp shadows. I really want as much contrast as I can get between what's lit and what's not. So all of this comes together in order to get a good crisp look. The other reason for the modeling light is my composition is important. And I thought, okay, I'm doing makeup, I'm doing beauty look, but I wanted it to be interesting but not distract from the makeup. So I did let it cover one eye because I find that sometimes shadows alone can give a very interesting look, but I like bringing in the context of what created the shadow. And I did play with both in advance, and I just found, for me, it was more interesting to allow the lace to show in frame. So you do need to play around with the position of the lace, the position of your light, and the position of your model. Your gobo has to be very close to your model. The closer the better, because that's really going to help with the crispness of the shadows, unless that's not what you're going for. But I'm talking about getting a crisp shadow. Your light source has to be small, direct, hard. It needs to be not too close, and it definitely helps if you've got a modeling light. So this was the final look, and that's all there is to it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. hope you've learned something from it, and I hope you can go and take it away and create something really epic yourself, because that's the whole point here. And if you've got some tips or questions, put them in the comments. I always answer. I really think that these kinds of techniques bring you to another level because they don't cost a lot of money, but they're fun and they're different and they help your work to stand out. So have a great time shooting, and I'll see you in 2 weeks when I show you a variation on another kind of DIY gobo, adding a gel. Bye-bye.